I forgot to add myself back in. This is when you know school started back. Oh man, what a day it's been. Big up everyone inside. This is the Newcastle preview. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Just obviously drop me a little thumbs up if you can hear me okay and stuff. Oh man. Ah, so you know what? Let's address the elephant in the room. Let's start off with Sunday before we actually talk about the actual the game tomorrow night. Um, Jordan's going to be with us shortly. Nate's at work, and Newcastle fan Jonathan Clare will be with us shortly as well. He's just currently on a stream at the moment. But you know what? Actually, before I get into the Sunday's game, let me address the comments. Big up Moss every time. Yeah, this is a big game at 8 o'clock. Huge game. And personally, I think for United, it has to be damage limitations. You know, just try and keep the scoreline as down as possible, personally. Um, as Moss is saying Palace Newcastle draw. I think we could beat them. I think we're going to be right up for it, you know. But we'll have to obviously wait and see till tomorrow, and then obviously Arsenal, Chelsea, some huge games this week. Really, really big games. Good time to be a football fan. Absolutely. Big up Football United TV. Now listen, if we're talking about patience of a saint, he's been wanting to do a show with me for the longest, and it's just like times have been awkward, times have clashed, and all sorts. But we're locked in for this Friday. So basically, I'll be on this channel and he'll be just talking to me about how I became a Palace fan and learning more about the club. So big up, big up Music United TV, big up people. Yes, Louis, big up. If you've never seen Michael that angry in my life, yeah, listen, if you haven't seen the clip, Michael Elise after the game on Sunday, he just kicked the ball back. Yeah, he weren't happy at all. But you know, I can understand his frustrations, well, 1,000,000%. Big up Rob every time. It's a shame we couldn't link up. Like, and reception was terrible in Wembley, by the way. Couldn't call no one. It was mad, but listen, everyone who was down at Wembley repped hard. It was wicked. What a day! What a day it was. Big up, Matt. I just got to record with about 8 o'clock actually as well. So yeah, I'm working hard, man. Working hard. Trying to obviously bring up the content for you guys. So absolutely buzzing. Big up Luke. Uh, he doesn't stop with the Jordan short shorts. Big up Tristan inside. Absolutely. Listen, Wembley, crazy. It was crazy. I don't even think we heard Chelsea at all. And even when they scored, we were louder than them. It was mad. Have I recovered yet? You know what? My voice recovered. I was very smart because my voice had gone at Covent Garden. No word of a lie. Covent Garden, my voice was gone. And I was like, nah, Rich, you've had this before where you then try to talk to people and it's all like, it's all mad. So I had to like preserve the voice, but absolutely, absolutely were just loud and proud that day. Liverpool to win it's yeah, I reckon it could be 3 or 4. I reckon it could be 3 or 4 tonight. Big up Jamie Phillips, the main man inside. Um, Jamie, you didn't watch along for the game. Let us know, man. If guys, if you are tuning in and you've not seen Jamie's watch alongs, it's absolute top. It's top draw. You know, quality channel as well. To be fair to him, and a great lad. Absolutely. So yeah, because I think Jordan's cooking at the minute. Obviously, the chairman's inside. Hopefully, he's not burning down the house. But Sunday, listen. I think enough's been said about the crowd. Let's talk about the game itself. Okay, 7:45. Wicked. I've got a recording with Matt at 8, but I'll be locked in. I'll be locked in. Phil Jones starting for actually, you know what? Matt, Jamie, anyone, just put in the both lineups. I'm interested to see what the lineups are for obviously the game. But yeah, first off, you know what? Fair play to Patrick Vieira, like for matching Chelsea. Like we've not played 3-5-2. I think we played it once in preseason, and I've not seen us play it again. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And to do so and match them up, that was kind of a masterstroke. They created nothing, and then obviously created a decent shot saved by Mendy, and Anderson hit the post from the rebound, but that was offside. Second half is where it was a bit disappointing. I feel we were flat, you know. Oh wait, have I not sent him? You need to go. All right, gotcha. 1 second, JC. Nah, what do you call it? StreamYard requires a code and that. Cool. Let me send that to you right now. But yeah, second half, I thought we were flat. And obviously, JP came off quite early in the second half. So it must have been a niggle that he was trying to run off and he couldn't run it off in the second half. And I think that is the moment where we should have thought, you know what, let's change formation, go 4-3-3 and actually go for it. Because you might as well lose 2-3-0 trying to win it than lose 2-3-0 defensively in a sense. And I felt like when Ayu came on, our shape was a mess. It looked like we played 4-1-4-1, then we went into 5-4-1. Zaha was isolated. And I think we even got to stop putting Zaha as a striker personally. Like he's so much better on the wing, you know. But even with that, the 2 goals from Chelsea came from our mistakes. You know what I mean? So I think the clearest chance they actually created was the Lukaku one where he hit the post from like 2 yards or something like that. So we didn't really get broken down. To be fair, the goal from Mount was a tidy finish. But once again, Ayu lost the ball in the silly area. Mitchell, who's been brilliant for us, he lost the ball for the first. You know, so and then we missed chances too. We missed chances. Coyote and Anderson should have scored. You know, so just disappointing. Obviously, with how things transpired on the day. But when I talk about support, yeah, we got the best fans in the world. I will say it out there, right here, right now. You know, we've got the best fans in the world. You know, big up JC.
Oh wait, I got more technical issues. Wait.
Jump in when you're ready in it. But yeah, our fans were from I won't even say from when we hit Covent Garden. Listen, from when we hit the tube station, wherever we were traveling from, it was crazy. Like, and we wrecked, and all the news was look at the Palace fans. Even after the game, probably 15, 20 minutes after the game, still there singing. Obviously, the players came round to clap the fans and that, which was amazing. Wolf sent his apology. He went off with emotions and stuff. At least he was going to walk off. Initially, Patrick told him to go back, salute the fans and stuff. You know, and Gallagher, credit to him, he came round as well. The fans were cheering his name throughout. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. You know, what what a day. Minus the result. What a day. JC, thoughts on Sunday?
Well, I think the the free drinks swayed my so I think that messed up how I was actually watching the game. I don't think I was watching the game too much. I think I was too much to enjoying myself a bit too much.
It's not a bad thing.
But yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the whole day was just brilliant. From literally from when I got to Norwood Junction, it was a bit of a mission because we missed a train, and then the next train was delayed by an hour and a half, and I was like, oh, okay. But then we found a roundabout way, but we actually got there quicker than we would have done if we'd got the way we was going. So that was all right. We went straight into we walked around Wembley for a bit, went to the fan park. The fan park was actually all right. I thought it was going to be dead, but it was actually quite a good atmosphere there. Met up with some people, met up with the Eagle Eye crew for the first time, which was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice seeing Nicky and they done.
Yeah, but listen, the match. Listen, we just wanted to stay in the Premier League this season, and to say that we are 11th right now and that we could be top 10, but we're not pushing the boundaries right now. But
Yeah.
we've had the best cup run in years. We've got past the first round and we get to the semi-final. That's mad.
Speaking of Discord, sorry, like, listen, Nicky came out and said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go red and blue." He then said the blue didn't work, so he said he thought it was red. It was hella pink.
Well, I tell you what, when I went out, because I went and found him the night before so I could give him his ticket.
Yeah.
Mate, it was like a beacon. I could see him from anywhere, bro.
We used him like with going back to the train station after the game. We used him like like the people that hold the flags up. Just follow Nicky. You could
Yeah, well, I saw Nicky when you guys came in the fan zone. I saw Nicky before I saw you. Thinking, damn, okay, but yeah, I think about the game, it's upsetting. We didn't turn up really. I think that Vieira tried something new in the first half and in the second half to try and contain them. We did that perfectly in the first half, but I think in the second half you needed to make that switch back to what we're used to, so we can actually go at them. But that change came. I think it was a bit too little, too late. We made that crucial sub when we went 1-0 down. But you can say, on the other hand, if Kouyaté sinks that header, we're 1-0 up.
Yeah.
If Anderson scores that header, that free header at 70 odd minutes,
it
that's
would've been
2-1. We've got
yeah.
a chance there. We've got a chance to come back into it.
Their
But
backs were against the wall, even though we weren't even that good.
Yeah, 100%. We didn't turn up at all, but we still gave it a good go, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think you could tell that the players were upset. Obviously, as you said, Zaha stormed off. Elise came round and then he smashed up a bag of balls. But but stuff like that's good to see. That he's so angry.
He was pissed, and I don't blame him.
Well, I did see a couple of comments saying that's not going to do your foot swelling any good. But I think that sub he should have come on at halftime.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because Ayew did his job in the first half, but at halftime, listen, Elise's basically dragged us all the way through the cup, and for him only to feature for 20 minutes is a bit harsh. But, after the match, even Gallagher came around. Gallagher was around even before the players came out. He was chilling. And after the match, he only clapped the section of the Chelsea right next to the manager. But then he clapped the whole way around Palace. Only a little block of Chelsea, but the whole way around Palace. But listen, it was a great day, and I cannot believe that all these Chelsea fans were trying to pipe up after the full-time whistle went, and they were like all the way up there trying to cuss us, and you're thinking, bruv, what are you gonna do? You're all the way up there saying we're shit. You man have spent billions of pounds, yeah, and we've spent 70 million in like
70 million.
What? Ages.
Yeah.
And them man are calling us shit, and these man made no noise throughout the whole.
They are so rattled by us.
The whole game, they made zero noise. But listen, I'm just excited that we had that moment. Going Wembley isn't a very regular occurrence for a club like us, and listen, Vieira said he wants to change this team. He wants to build us into a proper breed of like a different animal to get to this kind of staging competitions more often. So, if we got the funds, we're linked with many people. I'm really trying not to make a transfer preview before the actual transfer weeklies, because there are some proper stuff coming through.
That's good.
But it's exciting times. It's exciting times, and I think that we're going to look on this defeat and turn it around into more emphasis on this next game, because this next game is another 3 points which we're going to need if we're chasing top 10.
Absolutely. Right, our guest is here. Newcastle United fan. He's wearing his colours proud, and I don't blame him at all. Like, their resurgence has been unbelievable. You know what? Anyhow, big up to you. John, how's it going, mate?
Oh yeah, how you doing, lads? You okay? Just happy tea, just for a come on sort of thing, But it's been fantastic. How's you guys? You okay?
All good.
First and foremost, guys, the link to John's YouTube channel is in the description, so please take the time out, a few seconds, go hit that link, subscribe to him. Great guy. He's obviously just done some content with Maisie. I literally asked him to come on lastminute.com and stuff. So I really appreciate the time.
Thank you very much indeed, and thank you so much for having us on, people.
No problem, no problem. You know what? Let's start with your boys, because Christmas, you were gone. You were gone. What?
Absolutely.
What do you think is the biggest change Eddie Howe's made?
The biggest change he's made is just belief all the time, and just he's come in, right, and basically he's just making them believe, making them get confidence back, and playing good football as well, like, you know, because we got good players at the club, but when Steve Bruce was there, some of those players is just confidence is shocked. But Eddie Howe's come in, right, and he's just turned the game, he's just turned it all completely around. And the 4 players that's come in, like Kim Trippier, at Target, Bruno as well has come in as well. I'm not going to say Chris Wood as much because he hasn't done that much, but the players just believed in him. And Joe Linton to play in midfield.
Oh my gosh.
My God. He was magnificent.
Master stroke that was.
Yeah, you've turned him into the world's deadest £40 million striker to one of the better box-to-box midfielders in the Premier League.
It's crazy.
Overnight.
Wow. You know what? You're right, man. You're right. But the fact is, I think Joe Linton's career has really taken off in the midfield. And I just think it's been brilliant. But the last couple of games has been fantastic. I can't lie, but big up. This guy's brilliant. I mean, in the midfield, he's winning the tackles. I think he's one of the most tackles in the Premier League. My understanding. Bruno's coming in. I thought he's been fantastic as well. Bruno is worth every penny of that 40 million quid's been spent. Emil Kraft.
He's a very good player.
He's classy. Also, got to not to get him, by the way. Big up Jamie. And big up Matt, by the way. Emil Kraft. He's not my favourite player. But I tell you something. This guy is
such a wind up here.
He is in it. Yeah. I'm definitely Geordie. Born in Bristol, but got a Geordie accent. I used to live up in Newcastle, by the way, for a long time, and I came back. I just Emma Kraft is just playing fantastic football, and he's been brilliant. Honestly, at the back, and he's learning, but it's taken nearly 3 years to show that he's a good player. But Eddie Howe's come in, he's playing great football. And the thing is as well, knock off the Spurs defeat, the turn of the year, we haven't seen more than 1 goal, right? And not only that, we're second in the form league behind Liverpool. Second in the form league. Now, if the season starts in January, we'll be second. But it's Steve Bruce, he messed the club up. But it's just belief. We're just playing football, and we're not scored a lot of goals, I can't lie. But I think the players has turned the season around. I think the signings comments definitely improved us. Trippier, Target, Bruno definitely improved us. Chris Wood, he is trying, but he's not my striker for new season. Definitely not my striker for next season.
Can I say on the Chris Wood signing, I think it was a masterclass because you weakened Burnley.
Yeah.
I mean, they did go and get Weghorst, who's actually pretty decent.
well, lately he's been looking pretty whack, which is why they're where they are. But I was thinking more along the lines of Chris Wood is the perfect backup to Callum Wilson, because that guy is a goal scoring machine when he's fit. That's the catch, when he's fit.
Yeah,
agreed. But I want Chris Wood to get there sort of thing. I want him to do really well, score some goals, and I want him to succeed at Newcastle United. I really do, and I'm not going to cost him because he's one of our players, right? But if only he can score more goals. If he doesn't get service, he needs to drop deep in midfield, help out. That's the only thing. But look, if I give him a marks out of 10 for Chris Wood, I'll probably, not my favourite, I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. And I know what he's all about now, but I think we have a fantastic summer, guys, because I'm really looking forward to the new season. I think we're safe.
I'm scared. I'm actually scared of what we can do this summer.
That's what all people are saying that.
you didn't have much time to do what you did in January, but you still spent 150 million, and you got some good players out of it as well. You didn't overspend tremendously. I think you overspent a bit on Wood, but you know, to get any other team from a rival team, you're gonna have to pay top dollar for it anyway.
Yeah.
But if you've got
Absolutely.
time to think about who you want, mate, you could get anyone really. You got bottomless pockets now, so you can actually start living the dream of what Man City have lived through, basically.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Absolutely.
Do you think
Yeah.
players at Newcastle who you'd thought were average, like you said, Kraft, have flourished because the style of players changed?
I think it's getting better. It's getting better. I wouldn't say he's a wow factor for Kraft. He's, like I say, he's not my favourite player, but his concentration levels is much better, and that's what I want to see from him. Because at times he's being a bit rash and also plays out of position as well. But do you know what it is, right? If he carries on the way he's doing, then he'll be okay. But like I said, it's took him 3 years to sort himself out. And as for the Newcastle players, Joe Linton, fantastic. Shelby, I think he's done okay. ASM, I'm going to come on to him in a bit. Ryan Fierce has done all right. Miggy, as much as I love him, I do love Miggy, by the way. He works hard, but he hasn't scored at all this season and no assist. But if he goes in the summer, then it'd be a shame, but I just think wish him all the best. But ASM, now, I'm going to give him one more season, right? So you get better players around him in the summer. It's going to make him a better player. If he doesn't fix up, then questions need to be asked of him because at the end of the day, I mean, his final ball is not the best. And when he does get his ball, it's exciting. But they have about 2 or 3 players around him, and then he gets stuffed out so easily, guys. Yeah. But on his day, he's absolutely fantastic, and he's a game changer. Yeah. But his final ball needs to work out. And by the way, his shooting needs to improve as well quickly. And people saying fans saying he's a star boy. The star boy at Newcastle's Bruno.
He definitely is now.
He is now.
Not so long ago, their star boy was Nathan Atsu. So it's a bit of an upgrade, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely, man. But I'm a fan of ASM. I'm not going to cuss him out, but when he doesn't play well, then I will have to cuss him out. I'll do player ratings on the match review as well. I wouldn't be scared of giving him a 2 out of 10. I'll be quite happy giving him a 2 out of 10 if he doesn't perform. And I'm not frightened. But some of our fan base in Newcastle, right, will still give him 7 or 8 if he plays poorly. Yeah, for me, right. I'm the real one. But some of our fan base in Newcastle need to need to wake up and just be real, and just start to say that it's been poor. You can say that.
Sure.
But social media.
Do you think Grealish's Gucci deal has affected? Because obviously he was prime Gucci guy with the Gucci headband.
ASM. We take the question again, man. Listen, I like I said, I mean, under Steve Bruce, right? He's the main man, star man. Yeah, he gets ball to him all the time. We were so predictable. Get the ball from the back and give the ball to him as often as possible. Yeah, but since Eddie has come in, he's totally changed that. And ASM doesn't feel he's the main man anymore. And I'm hearing a lot of people saying that he could be on his way in the summer for 50 million quid. People say, don't sell him, right? But Eddie Howe likes to play quick football, get the ball, pass and move. But ASM dwells on it a bit long, in my opinion, and he loses the ball. When he loses the ball, right, he either flaps sounds like that or he just gets a bit frustrated. Do you know what I mean? But when he gets fouled, right, he stays on the ground for about, 30 seconds before he gets back up again. I think he's injured, he's not. But I'm backing this guy, and I hope in the summer, if he's there, he's got to sort things out. He needs to show us now that he's a fantastic player. I want to get 10 goals next season, minimum. I want to get 15 assists next season as well. He does that, then you may as well call him player of the season. Because if you look at his record, since it's been there, 87 games being played, he scored 12 goals, 14 assists in his 3 seasons he's been there. I'm not sure if that's a good record. I'm not sure.
Yeah, when you read it like that, it doesn't.
No,
does look good, doesn't it?
I think for him, for someone of his age and how he plays and how he played in the Newcastle team with that kind of management and that kind of striker, that is a very good return from a very negative style.
Actually, yeah, from a Steve Bruce,
because if you think about it in that way, then it's very impressive. The same way as Zaha scoring 10 goals every season on a Roy Hodgson team, that was extremely impressive. But to other people, they don't look at it that way. But Saint-Maximin reminds me of Zaha when he was a lot younger.
Yeah. But Zaha, so as honest days, I'm gonna say to you guys, he's a ballerina, but he is a good player on his day. When he's on it, he is on it, and he's got a lovely cross on him, by the way. Lovely cross on him, by the way, and I think he's a fantastic player. But he does dive a lot though, and he needs to cut that out very, very quickly. What's he, 29?
Why does everyone think he dies?
If you can find a clip of him diving in the last 4 years, then show it to me.
I will. He does. He has a reputation, but on this day, I think he's a cracking player. I like Zaha. I think he's a cracking player. He really, really is. And I think he's your best player at the club. I really do.
That's debatable these days, though. That's the thing. These days, it is debatable.
Which is a good thing. United abroad, Santiago says. Do you think Santiago Munoz was a proper signing, or was it destined due to the goal movie?
Bit of both, actually, when I first found out. But he has been playing in the reserves, by the way, and apparently scored his first goal in black and white. I think it's about a month ago, and I think he still lost, but he is playing for the reserves. Excuse me, under 23s. And I asked us today, do you think he should be starting games? Now we're safe, and I said not yet, no, and I'll tell you for why. Because I always finish as high as you can. Because the players like Donny van der Beek didn't want to come to Newcastle. Dele Alli didn't want to come to Newcastle. A few other players didn't want to come to Newcastle because we're in the relegation scrap. They didn't fancy relegation scrap. Yeah, I want to see where we finish at the end of the season. I think we're going to finish 11th or 12th this season. Yeah, and then we'll see if players the name I mentioned thinking, hang on a minute, I'm wrong here. Newcastle finished the season strongly. Yeah. But we're going to, like you said earlier on, guys, you're already scared for the summer sort of thing. But if we can get players coming through the door, 3 quality players and a couple of free signings as well of quality, I think Newcastle will be making some noises, like, you know what I mean?
Spot on. I just want to touch on one other factor. I don't know if, Jordan, you've got any questions afterwards, and then we'll do a combined 11, which we love doing. Eddie Howe. He's done a great job, like really full on ratings to him. Wicked job.
Okay.
When would the owners let him go though? Because he's going to keep you in the Prem. Does he stay another season? I think he deserves another season. But I'm just thinking about the ambition of the club. The owners could be a bit like, listen, we need to get the best of the best. Do you think he survives after the season?
I'm going to say yes, because he deserves the season. He needs a couple of transfer windows, in my opinion. He's a young manager. He's willing to learn. He took a year out of football, right? Learning from other managers abroad, and brings it here to Newcastle. He has done a wonderful, wonderful job. I'm backing this guy because the reason being he deserves a chance. Yeah? And this is most Newcastle fans, right, are kicking off because they're saying, oh, he should be sacked. He should never be sacked. Yeah, he could be the best young manager, English manager in years to come. I'm sure Graham Potter will have something to say about that. But the thing is, Eddie Howe's my manager, 110%. I had a couple of people ask us the same question on my channel, like Del Boy Guna as well. He said that Eddie Howe is not the man for Newcastle United. And for Newcastle United, they reckon Newcastle should be going for someone bigger, like a Diego Simeone, a Roberto Mancini. Yeah?
Simeone is... I hate his style of football.
I do.
But he would win you stuff, though. That's the problem.
He win you things, though. But I'll turn on you guys, right? If you're a Newcastle fan, and would you give Eddie Howe a season? If not, who would you go for? I'll turn it on you.
I personally would. I think he deserves it for what he's done. But I'm just saying the cutthroat nature of owners. In a sense. Sergey,
I would say the same thing. I think that Eddie Howe's got another year in him, probably max, because City didn't go from who they had to Guardiola, did they? They went through a stage of getting better and better managers progressively as their team got better progressively. But I think Eddie Howe's got one job to do next year, and that one job is getting top 10. If he gets that, that's it. Your first season under new ownership.
You know what? I think he might be under pressure to get Europe, you know?
I think if that's the case, then the owners are asking way too much.
But that's the issue at hand. This is what
yeah,
this is the
discussion. But the also discussion is the owners could say, "Yo, we've given you £300 million. Where's our European football?" But I think after that, that progression of the team, then you get the better managers in, and then they'll get you to win or onto winning ways. For example, that's how I feel that the club should be run.
Do you know what it is, right? I mean, with Eddie Howe, I mean, he's a talented manager, yeah? If he fixes the defence, yeah, he's come in and he technically fixes the defence. We don't see many goals. Knock off the Spurs results, right? From January, we haven't hardly conceded any goals, you know. But I tell you something, he's done wonderful. But one thing I'm going to say, right, I'm going to give him time in the summer. He has to get us top 10, yeah? Because you are going to spend a lot of money. You don't get 150 million to spend or 200 million to spend and don't get in the top 10. If that happens, then I can see him being under pressure. However, I'm going to give the lad time. I'm an Eddie Howe fan. I get a lot of people on my channel saying that if he doesn't start well, they should sack him. I've never heard so much rubbish in my life. But who's going to come in, though? I mean, it's going to be Roberto Mancini. Could it be... I'm not going to mention his name again because you're not like it. There you go, Simeone again. I know you don't agree, but he's going to come to Newcastle. Are they going to get the best young manager in world football? Nagelsmann from Bayern Munich?
You know what? I think he might get sacked, you know. Nagelsmann.
He's on a 5-year deal. He's signed a 5-year contract. This is his first season.
Yeah, but that embarrassment in the Champions League, they don't take too kindly to things like that.
And normally, even on a bad season, they run pretty deep in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, I mean, football is a brutal business. It's an absolute brutal business as well, by the way. Yeah, you consider going in that 90th minute to Roby. By the way, you can have him for 40 mil. Wow. Mate, you can keep him, mate. I think it'd be fantastic for you, not for me. I mean, Charleston, I'd take him out a push, but you'd be my first choice, by the way. But I don't think I could pick any Everton players at that club. I really can't. No.
No. Let's have a discussion.
He's good.
John, would you take Ollie at the wheel?
No, no chance.
No
chance
what we're saying is
whatsoever.
that obviously, if
I'll keep Eddie.
Newcastle stay up, how long should Eddie Howe get?
I think he should get as long as it takes, to be quite honest with you, because the fans love him. I love him. And it's down to the owners as well. And listen, we don't know what these new rules are going to be like. You know, are they going to be a sacking people? Are they going to give the managers time? At the end of the day, I mean, Amanda Staveley, she's the one who got Eddie Howe into the club, and it's her decision. And I just hope he does well. I want Eddie to do well. I mean, he's got a second in the Form League turned January, so he's done a fantastic job. But I'm Eddie in all the way. With Charleston.
100 mil, you know. Would you not take Pickford?
Nah. Don't mention Pickford, man. No. He's for Sunderland, right? Not for me.
He got the dinosaur outfit in the stands, didn't he?
He did he? I tell you, can you imagine Everton get relegated, lads? If they got relegated, yeah, with that team, they've done 500 million, didn't they? Is it 500 million, 500 billion? That'd be shocking. No wonder Carlo Ancelotti ran out to go to Real Madrid at the earliest opportunity.
This is it. Right, John, we're going to give you the platform to do a combined 11. As you can see, we've given you the goalkeeper already.
Okay.
So, what formation would you like?
I'm going to stick with 4-3-3. Is that means have they got to be fit, or can it be injured, or does injured players doesn't count?
No restrictions. Yeah, fit.
Fit.
Injuries doesn't matter if they're injured. Just do best 11.
My best. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Best combined 11 doesn't matter if they're injured.
Okay.
Yeah, and you need to get at least 3 Palace players in.
I'm sure you can manage that.
That's fine. That's fine.
You just have to drop it.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'll have to get the Crystal Palace players up as well then, because after them, I mean, I definitely put Kieran Trippier right back.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just going to type in Crystal Palace players as well. And your defender and Gucci, whoever his name is.
Gucci.
Whoever his name.
I said Gucci.
Is it Gucci or I can't remember? You know what I mean? But you know what I'm on about there.
Yeah, Gay, Mark Gay.
Let's have a look. Gooey, that's a Mark Gooey. He's decent. I quite like him. I would say Dan Burn.
That's a bit of a sore spot, because you know how you don't like Sunderland players, we don't like Seaweed players, so that can't.
Wow, I could tell why, because you don't use them, but don't get on, don't you?
We'll take Shaw then as a replacement.
Pick who?
Was it Shaw?
Go on, Fabi, go on. Put Fabi Shaw in the ball out from the back.
We're not having no former Seaweed in this.
You don't do them, do you? Fair enough. It's a tough one between Target and Mitchell. It's a tough one, but Mitchell's having a
It's not.
Mitchell's having a...
Let him finish.
Okay, fair enough.
He said it's a tough one between him and Target. I'm thinking, nah.
Okay, you go choose Mitchell, you choose Mitchell. All right, and the midfield 3. Bruno's got to be in there, 110%.
Attacking midfield or centre midfield?
I would say CDM, because he can break out there as well.
I think this is a very strong midfield, you know.
That one, right?
I mean, Conor Gallagher's got to be in there. At least one spot.
Who's the attacking midfielder that you'd go for?
I would go for it's Conor Gallagher, attacking midfielder as well, isn't he? Is he attacking midfielder, Gallagher as well? Yeah,
he can play both.
He can play centre mid and attacking mid.
If that's the case, then I'll put Gallagher in attacking and put Joe Linton in there. So I put Joe Linton, Bruno, and Gallagher there.
I'm just waiting for James to come in the comments with Mateta up top.
Fair enough. For me, I would go.
Front three is going to be tough.
No, the front three is going to be very tough. I really do think that. At the focal point, I mean, I'm going to go with Callum Wilson, just Callum Wilson up front. So that leaves either side. I'm going to go with ASM and Zaha.
On which sides?
Left-hand side ASM. No, because they can both play there, can they? They can both play left-hand side, can they? But ASM can play I'm going to have to put ASM on the right-hand side, and I'll put Zaha on the left-hand side.
Okay. So...
Jordan, what would your 11 be?
I think that I'd probably remove Shaw and put Anderson in.
I agree.
I would probably move Gallagher and I would probably move Gallagher back to central midfield.
Take out Joelinton.
Yeah, even though Joe Linton's had a blinder of a season, I don't know if I could put him in there because of how good of a season that we've had. But between attacking midfield and right wing, does Elise push Maximan out, or do we play Elise in the 10?
See, but I'm thinking about Ebbs. I'm thinking Eze.
But I don't think that you could put Eze in yet, though. That's the thing. He's only played in the cup, hasn't he? And we're talking about Premier League.
Remember, we did have no restrictions, like there's no injuries and so on and so forth. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. If we're saying no injuries, Ebbs and then Elise takes Maximan out. Maximan don't get in this squad if everyone's fully fit and firing.
I agree.
Because Elise is a different breed of player.
And I like ASM as well.
We tried to buy ASM, but you man outbid us for him.
I think Patrick Vieira would have been there. He would have been out because they just don't confirm. They just don't get along where they were both at Nice. Apparently, ASM's attitude wasn't right, and Patrick tried to drop in and try to kick him out of the club. So it's one or the other. But going to what Oliver's saying, listen, he's a quality player, by the way. But he had that bad injury again, didn't he? And it's sad. But I hope he's okay now.
Louis, I'm not sure about Wolf up top anymore, you know.
It doesn't work. It never has.
To be fair, she's quiet now. She's quiet now. Bless her. Don't know that time. I think the only reason I'll take ASM is consistency.
Yeah, because Elise has been consistently brilliant, hasn't he? I think for minutes on the pitch, I think he's got the most goal contributions within a certain amount of minutes, and the smallest amount of minutes in the Premier League.
Yeah,
and he's putting up these numbers when he hasn't even started a quarter of games of this season. I don't even think he started 10 games.
No, I don't think he has.
His stats must be immense. Let me have a quick look.
I mean, I guess this is testament to how well our front line's been recently, because we've both had to kind of rely on one player in previous seasons. But slowly we've both increased our attacking line. Defensively, I guess there's areas where we can both improve. It's not a bad side, actually.
I quite like it. I quite like the team there. And I would have definitely put Dan Burn because it's defence as well. If you put Dan Burn, I know you're not a fan, take out Shah, that back two, the defence would have been absolutely solid.
I would just chuck Anderson in anyway, so.
Anderson.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at Elise this season. He's played 22 games in total. He's started exactly 10 of them, but he's got 4 goals and 9 assists. He's got more goal contributions than starts. That's mad.
That's a mad. Absolute mad. That's a mad.
That is crazy. But yeah, looking. Next thing up, John, is our predictions. So there are only six fixtures.
Yeah.
So what we do, we actually have like a table. We've been doing this for most of the season, not all of it, but most.
Cool.
Jordan started 3 weeks late, so these were the last round of fixtures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a very high scoring one. So if you get the exact score correct, you get 2 points, so that's the green ones. If you get the result correct, it's 1 point, and that's the orange.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a good week. I mean, Jordan, you've closed the gap a little bit on the guests.
Well, yeah,
so this is the
I had a decent week.
This is the current standings. Now, bear in mind, Jordan started 3 weeks after myself, Nate, and the guest. So if he can catch up with the guests, then that's an achievement in itself. So he's only 8 points behind. So
yeah, next season we'll see how bad I really am.
You might win the whole lot, mate.
I doubt it.
Cool. So let's start off with the first game, which is obviously kicking off in about 14 minutes. Just enough time because we want to wrap up before 8. We'll just say the score, and that will be it. So as a guest, John, you can start. Liverpool, Man United.
I say going to be. I said to Maisie 2-1 to Liverpool, and I'm going to stick with that.
2-1 to
Liverpool.
Casey?
3-1 Liverpool. Wait, no, United don't have Ronaldo tonight, do they?
Nah. Sad news, man. Sad news.
3-0. Yeah, it is sad, but if we're talking predictions, it's 3-0.
Predictions wise, I can see why you've taken that 0 away. Yeah, I listen. On that note as well, like massive condolences to that sad news about Ronaldo. Obviously losing one of the twins, man. Really, really, really sad news. And I've seen some mad Twitter. I love Twitter for banter, but there are some idiots out there. There are some. I saw one tweet and I felt sick to my stomach. Anyway, let's not give that energy.
Nah.
Let's not give that at the time of day. I'm torn between 3-0 and 4-0 Liverpool. And I'm going to say 4. Knowing that they're playing the defense that they're playing, I think they're going to get one ragged.
Especially with Maguire scorpion kicking Pogba. Makes everything better.
Next
wow.
Up, Chelsea versus Arsenal. John.
I tell you what, if you look at it, Chelsea had to win that game at Southampton, absolutely slapped in 6-0. Arsenal couldn't beat Southampton. Yeah, I think Chelsea are going to finish the season strongly. Okay, I mean, getting beat of Real Madrid in the Champions League, I think they're going to be too strong for Arsenal. Arsenal just cannot fix up at all whatsoever. And if you look at your AFTV channel and League Goal as well, oh my God, it's absolutely a man's League Goal. He's fantastic. I love that guy. I'm going to say Chelsea 3, Arsenal 1.
Jesse?
I'm not sure, because on one hand, you're thinking Chelsea are going to finish the season strong, but Arsenal always have London derby in them. I'll go 2-2. I think 2-2. That sounds nice.
I don't see where Arsenal's next goal is. That's the front, and it's definitely not coming from any of their strikers.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Right? I mean,
up front.
If you sold Aubameyang, right? So sell him. You've not got a replacement for him. That is criminal. I mean, Nketiah, 0 goals. Yeah. Lacazette, 1 goal in the last God knows what. They got problems up front. You know what I mean? For me personally, they should put Martinelli up front, put him on false 9 because I could see Lacazette go at the end of the season, and Nketiah is going to go at the end of the season. And I think Arteta would be gone as well.
No, absolutely. I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea, by the way. It could be more. Everton, Leicester.
I think Leicester will bounce back. I mean, Everton beat Man U, but what you have to understand is this is the worst United team I have seen in years and years and years. This is not a United team coached by Alex Ferguson and Roy Keane midfield, but I would not be surprised if this game end up in a draw, 1 each.
AC?
Oh man, mate, I'm not on it today. Okay, what's the game again?
Everton, Leicester.
Leicester 2-1. Because they look pretty good against us. That's why.
I think just solely because it's that Goodison, I'm going to go 2-1 Everton. If it was away, it could be 3 or 4-0 Leicester. We'll leave the Newcastle Palace one till last. Man City versus the Seaweeds.
I tell you what, to be fair, Brighton saw the last two. They've done a North London double. I think it's going to be one winner. I think it's going to be Man City 2, Brighton 0.
So because it's your debut, we'll let you off for saying the B word. we call him the Seaweeds around here.
Sorry, Seaweeds.
Unfortunately, them weirdos from the South Coast are playing well. But I can't do it. I'm going to say City win, but they win narrowly. So I'm saying 1-0 City.
I think there's going to be a bounce back here, and I think the Seaweeds are going to hold cool. 3-0 City.
I don't think Matt likes me anymore. Sorry, Matt. At least you have Iwobinho, right? It's all good.
Absolutely. Big up Nate, by the way. What we'll do, Nate, is we'll go through the last fixtures. Then I'm going to jump off because I'm going to jump on Matt's thing in a minute, and then JC, if you just run through the fixtures for Nate, and then he can, and just write down the sentence to me for WhatsApp or something.
Oh, okay.
Burnley, Southampton. John?
I'm going to go with Southampton on that one. I think they're going to win by a goal to 0.
JC?
Are Burnley mathematically down yet? They're not, are they?
No.
They're not down yet. Not down, but
They're making it hard for themselves. Let's just say that.
very.
You know what? I'm saying that Southampton win that 2-0, but I would say Burnley would win it if they still had Daesh.
I'm with you at that one, but 110%. I mean, the way they sacked him, I think that's a joke.
Crazy.
An absolute
Crazy.
utter disgrace. Even if they got relegated, they still keep on to Sean. He would have gotten them back up again. 100%. Yeah. They would have won that league by, say, January, February time. And then they could just put the flip-flops on. Yeah, but I'm afraid to say, if they get relegated, I think they're done.
Yeah, I don't see them coming back.
Nah.
Don't see them coming
better teams in the championship.
However, I think they'll win this one. I'm going to go 2-0 Burnley.
With Ben Mee as your manager.
Hey, they picked up a point at the Hammers.
They did.
Good point at that as well.
No, Michael Jackson's the manager, isn't he? I swear they're on the 23s coach is currently taking them on.
Right, last one before I shoot, and then Nate, you could do your ones afterwards. The big one, Newcastle Palace.
I'm going to go Newcastle 1-0. It's going to be tight. Sorry, guys, but I have to say 1-0. I think it'd be okay. We're going for the 6th straight home win.
JC?
Because it's away and Newcastle are on form and we've just come off a loss, I think we're going to bounce back, but I don't think we're going to bounce back enough to get a win out of it. It'll be a draw, but I'm stuck between 1-0 or 0-0 because we don't score many up there very often. I'll say, I'm sorry to all the travelling fans, it's going to be 0-0.
Ooh.
That's a long trip to not see no goals.
I've gone 2-1 to Palace. 2-1 to Palace. Right. I'm going to shoot off and get ready for this stream.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, that was a bit abrupt.
Just like that, he disappears.
And it's gone. Where's it gone?
And he's back.
and it's gone.
So you know with the trackpad, if you swipe with 2 fingers, it does a back but there's the back button, and I've got to stop doing it. I've got to use one finger with two.
Yeah, exactly. Just Max is shit. So
anyway, guys, obviously, John, thank you so much for coming on. Obviously, you'll be in the capable hands of Jordan and Nate as they end the stream. And yeah, it's all the best for tomorrow.
You too. Thanks so much, indeed. Wish you all the best for tomorrow.
Continue the great work on your channel.
Thank you very much.
Guys, like I said, we've dropped the link in the description, so please go give John a sub. Quality content, and especially the work you do with Maisie as well. Yeah, amazing.
Fantastic.
Right.
Thank
JC,
Thank
Nate.
you very much.
yep, I'm on it.
See you there, Rich.
See you later, Rich. Take care.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm grabbing the fixtures so I can give them to Nate so I can type them out. I will show Nate the combined 11 that John has chosen, and you can pick that apart in your way. So yeah, Nate, what do you think of that?
I can't argue with it, to be honest. I think it's fair. I mean, Joe Linton I might have a slight gripe with, but in midfield he's been fairly good for Newcastle, so I'm not going to discount that. But I mean, I can't really put Joel Ward there. Let's be honest. I mean, Trippier or Ward, it's not even a contest. Mitchell, that's fair enough. Shaw, I think I don't know between him and Anderson. I think it'd be a fair contest between either of them. No complaints. I think John's got it spot on. To be fair to him, I think he's got it spot on. No issue.
Cool. So, all right. So I've got all the games here. So, Everton, Leicester.
Leicester coming off of a loss that they probably will feel a bit hard done by, seeing as even Newcastle fans admitted they didn't deserve it. But listen, if you can win when you don't deserve it, you take it every day of the week. Everton, they effectively need to get the points on the board now because their running is just horrendous, and they have to play Leicester again in this running, which is strange, but COVID happened apparently. Leicester 2-0. I know Matt's not going to like me in either way, but I have to back Leicester on this one because if it means Frank Lampard gets relegated, I'll take that risk.
Chelsea, Arsenal.
London derby, big London derby at that. Chelsea coming off the back of a strong semi-final performance, albeit against us, unfortunately, but to be fair, they deserved it. Arsenal seeing more L's than is in a Welsh town name, which is rather strange considering Arsenal should be well up there for top 4 contention, but they're not. Proud to say that we started off that L trend. You know, everybody's copying our blueprint, JC. What can we say? We're just that good at dismantling Arsenal's hopes. Chelsea 3-1.
Newcastle, Palace.
Boy, part of me would love to say a Palace win because we need to bounce back quickly after Sunday, where the second half you could have sworn we just stayed in the dressing room because we didn't lay a glove on Chelsea. Newcastle winning, as John said, their 6th game, looking for their 6th win in a row at home. Yeah, head says Newcastle, heart says Palace. I can't stand their manager because I think he's an arrogant, the rest. Rhymes with tick. That gives you a clue as to what I think of Eddie Howe. But I'll give Newcastle their credit. They're not the team that came to Selhurst Park and somehow nicked a draw, even though they didn't deserve it that day. But purely because we need the bounce back ability, like Ian Dowie would say, I'm saying 2-1 Palace. But don't hold me to that because I know Newcastle have it in them to shock us. So I'll go 2-1 Palace for now. But I'm not banking on that because I know Newcastle can beat us. So we'll see.
City, Seaweed.
Well, anytime I predicted somebody to beat them lot, they don't do it. And I'm not remotely entertaining giving them lot a win because I'd rather put bleach down my throat than do that. So I'm going to say a draw. Purely for the banter, I'm going to say a draw because I don't want to give them 3 points because it just makes me sick if I do that. So I'm saying draw. 1-1. I hate saying it, but I don't want to give them a win. So 1-1.
Burnley, Southampton.
Well, before this, I was kind of backing Burnley to stay up. But since they sacked Sean Dyche, I hope Southampton rip them a new arsehole. 4-0 Southampton.
Poor.
Ooh.
And lastly, Liverpool United.
Well, I don't really care about this game, really. It means nothing to me. Well, it means nothing to any of us on this panel today, so I don't really mind. But purely for the fact that Liverpool need to capitalise on any mistakes City could make, and if City slip up against the Seaweed, they have to punish United. If it's another 5-0, I'm going to fall off my chair laughing, because that 5-0 earlier in the season just had me smiling the whole weekend. It didn't matter what our result was. Seeing their man get peppered 5-0, it was like, mate, that was just glorious. But I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. It's at Anfield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-1 Liverpool. There's no way in hell United are going to Anfield and win.
Sweet, that's all of them so far for this match week. Because Nick came in late. This is the results from last game week. And this is where it leaves us in the stand-ins. So
6
Rich has
points off
pulled away
Rich.
from you a bit.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm annoyed about, because some of those results really... See, this is the thing. The one time I need Tottenham to bloody turn up, and what happens? They don't bloody turn up. Typical bloody Tottenham.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Well, yeah, before we end, Nate, have you got any questions to ask John about Newcastle, and if you have any feelings about their new ownership, their manager, example?
Well, I've already said my piece on their manager. I don't like him. But Newcastle's ownership, they're just as questionable as every other Premier League owner that's foreign in English football. Let's be honest. You can look at any owner's money and say it's all blood money, because, like, let's be honest, American money isn't clean. Russian money isn't clean. Oil money isn't clean. Look, Newcastle fans are much like many other fans across the outside of the top six. Newcastle fans haven't demanded trophies. They haven't demanded European football. They haven't even remotely demanded anything of the sort. Now that they've got the resources to challenge for it, if you're going to say, they're going to ruin English football was ruined the minute Abramovich came on the scene. Even before that, to be fair. Obviously, because Newcastle now have umpteen billion in the bank, people are going to say, they're just going to buy their success. If buying their success means that they regularly compete, which is what their fans have wanted, then what's the problem? They haven't demanded to be winning league titles every season. They haven't won a trophy since, 1958? Am I right, John?
1955. The last major trophy you won is the First Cup in 1969. But they won the FA Cup in 1955. That's the last major trophy, 55, and the First Cup in 69.
Yeah, so you see what I'm saying. You haven't gone into every season saying we should be winning the FA Cup, we should be winning the league, we should be winning the League Cup. If you get to the semi-finals of any of these competitions, your fans are buzzing.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying? And
Totally
the notion you can't enjoy having umpteen billion in the bank, having had Mike Ashley as owner. I don't like that this Saudi money is in English football, but I'm not going to begrudge Newcastle fans enjoying not having Mike Ashley as owner, who was terrorising your club and was making you a glorified Sports Direct billboard. I'm not saying I'm okay with the idea of it, but I understand that for Newcastle fans, the chance to compete far equates whatever way the money came about.
Yeah. Just to stop you there, people, Liverpool's just scored, by the way. Liverpool 1, United 0. Liverpool 1, United 0. And David here is not very happy about it. But
who's the scorer?
Diaz. But also, going back to what you said, Natty, mate, right? I mean, you said there, right? We don't demand a trophy set right? What we do, right? I mean, we had 14-year Mike Ashley, right? He's got us 2 relegations, yeah? 2 relegations, and then got us back up again, yeah? The best period in that time, we finished 5th under Alan Pardew, right? That's number 1. Secondly, we are suffered under Mike Ashley. We have poor managers there, yeah? And Pardew's one of them, right? It's number 1, right? After he got us 5th. Steve Bruce nearly destroyed Newcastle United, yeah? I tell you now, if Steve Bruce is manager of Newcastle now, we'd be relegated. We'd not even be talking about mid-table. We'd not be talking about these signings as well. But at the end of the day, right, I mean, I know we want you to win a trophy as well, because I think Crystal Palace are a great club as well. We want you to win a trophy as well. But could you imagine if he won the Carabao Cup, right? For the first time in a long time, yeah, I'd take that all day long. I'd take it all day long, yeah. But we are going to spend big in the summer. Let's be real, right? And I know people's going to get upset at that, yeah. But I heard clubs as well saying to us and say that they're not willing to do business with Newcastle United because of what's going on. Because you got people like Daniel Levy telling the Premier League, don't pass these Saudis, do not pass. But I'm going to say it now, right? The PIF and the Saudi state is two separate things, right? The PIF is completely different than it is to the Saudi state, yeah? It's a PCP Capital Partners, right? Capital, yeah? PCP Capital Partners, yeah? That's what they are, right? And the PIF is a profitable independent fund, whatever you want to call it, right? And look, different people, Amanda Staveley, right? She's ahead of it, helped us sell the club, yeah? But I just hope, right? I'm 52. I'm 53 in August, by the way. I want to see Newcastle win a trophy, yeah? I really want to see any trophy you'll do. The Carabao Cup, if it takes that, cool. I'll take it then. At least I see my team won a trophy, yeah? But what I'm saying is, right? Newcastle fans can dream now. They're coming in. They're serious people, right? And they are going to spend big in the summer. We are going to spend big in the summer. I mean, how much it would be, I don't know. It could be 150 million plus a couple of quality free signings as well. Now, for me, I want to be in the top 6. I want to be in the top 7 next season, yeah? And Eddie Howe, I'm sure I would take us there, yeah? I'm sure I heard that Rich said earlier on, said that Eddie Howe's going to be under pressure next season, yeah? Maybe he is, maybe he's not, but he's my manager, yeah? I'll go back him, yeah? But if he does get us top 10, I could see him being under pressure, according to a lot of people. But let's hope that Eddie Howe does it for us. I want Eddie Howe to succeed at Newcastle United. I love Eddie Howe. I think he's brilliant. And fans need to dream. We need to dream now. We need to dream big. And that's our fans. That's what we need to do.
No, you're right, John. You're right. But look, the thing is, because Newcastle have the resources they now have to spend whatever amount of money they want, and obviously the years and years and years of Mike Ashley promising to spend money and never delivered on it. Financial fair play doesn't really hit Newcastle for another, I think it may be 2 or 3 years from now, I think, something along those lines.
Yeah.
The fact that you're hearing people are saying don't do business with Newcastle, that just means they see you as a threat, because even if Newcastle were to, like, let's say Newcastle came to us for Tyreek Mitchell, just as an example, we don't have to sell him to Newcastle if we don't want to. But if they're willing to make us an offer we can't refuse, we can say, do you know what, actually, it probably benefits us to take that money and reinvest it rather than refuse that money. And then our asset gets devalued because a team that wants to sign him for his peak value, you know, because Tyreek Mitchell's not even 23 yet. So you can think about it and say, well, hang on a minute. This is a seasoned Premier League left back who could easily surpass Paul Dummett. I mean, let's be fair, Paul Dummett's an absolute pony. But what I'm saying is that, John, because you're Newcastle United and you're not necessarily in that top 6 bracket of clubs, despite the fact that I'm old enough to remember you in the Champions League, because I was born in 1992, so I remember seeing the Dabizas and them playing for Newcastle in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
People have associated you with being mid-table to relegation because of Mike Ashley. Now that you've got the investment and resources to surpass that, challenge that, and improve on that, you are going to see a lot of clubs say, do you know what? No, we're not doing business with Newcastle because we know they can give us whatever we want, but we lose the key asset of a player. But what they're not realizing is that if you were to offer, let's go with, for example, let's go with Everton, for example, right? Just as an example. And you tried to sign, I don't know, Richarlison, just as an example, and you offered them £60 million. If Everton get relegated, which I'm not saying they will, Matt, before you're trying to tap me in the comments, but if they were to get relegated and you offer them 60 million, that's exponential pressure off their wage bill in the Championship. And as you know, as a Newcastle fan, the drop in money from the Prem to the Champ, trust me, you need to get heavy earners off the books quick. Because if you don't, you're stuck with them until you either go up or you stay in the Championship. And then you're paying off a contract you can't afford to pay off. Because obviously, when we got Andros Townsend off you took Dwight Gale off us, and both of them were on way different contracts. Because Townsend had gone from Premier League Newcastle to Premier League Palace. Gale had gone from Premier League Palace to Championship Newcastle. But you've got a higher gate receipt because you've got 52,000 to our 25. But if I'm a Newcastle fan and you're hearing, oh, we don't want to do business with Newcastle because of all the money they've got, that's a compliment, because that's you thinking, well, wait a minute, that suits us fine. Because if you don't want to do business with us, you lose out on money that you could reinvest in your team.
That's very
Now, as
true.
luck would have it, we've done very smart business over the last year or so, where we've brought in Eze and Elise and a few other players, where people are thinking, why are Palace signing these guys for such small money and we're not? Because we're not looking for 60, 70, 80 million pound players as the marquee signing. We're looking for players that can improve our overall quality. That's what Newcastle
Absolutely.
have done. Bruno Guimaraes is not the finished article, but he's a level above what you've had at the club already. Because if you have to go from Isaac Hayden to Guimaraes, you're thinking, I'd have that every day of the week. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you know what it is, so you said some good points there, Natty. You said some cracking points there. But he said, going back to what you said, you don't want to do business with Newcastle United. That's fine. If we went in for, say, like you say, Richarlison, then they have to get the pressure. They have to sell them quick, because the wage bill is going to be absolutely shocking. But if we went in and we bought in, for argument's sake, Saka from Arsenal, right, for say 80 million quid, Arsenal won't sell him to us because they know we'll be a threat. Yeah, but what if they say, look, I want to go to Newcastle. I don't want to play for your club, and I want to go to Newcastle. Can you still stop him from going?
Well, yes, logically you can, but the reality is that it's better to let the player leave, because that could destabilise the dressing room harmony. Plus, if a manager doesn't want the player there and he's saying, listen, I don't want this guy at the club next season. Now, Arsenal adore Saka, so letting an academy product go is a lot harder to prize an academy player out of a club. We know that better than anyone, because Mitchell's an academy product. So somebody comes in for Mitchell, but like, hang on a minute. You can take Milivojevic. We'll drive him up to Newcastle free of charge. We'll drive him up to Leicester, Coventry, Swindon, you name it. We'll drop him there free of charge. But because Saka, Mitchell, and the like are academy players, and say, for example, it's Matty or Sean Longstaff, they're Newcastle academy products. If they're being on the verge of being sold, some Newcastle fans would be like, well, hang on a minute, we want to bump that price up a bit. Even if they're not at the level you want them to be, you're not going to want them to go for dirt cheap. You're thinking, they came through the club. It's one thing to sign a player and then sell him on for big money, as we did with Balassi, for example. Balassi came in for 750 grand, got sold for 20-something million. 30 million, I think it was, or something like that. Do you know what I'm saying? He wasn't, Zaha's an academy player. So when he left for Man United, it was 10 million up front, and in the Championship, that's a shit ton of money. Excuse my French. But since then, you're looking at it thinking, hang on a minute, if we can sell players from the academy for way more money than they're worth, that's a good profit. But if we can keep hold of these players and sell players we don't want, we're laughing. Because if somebody offers us 5 million for Milivojevic, here, take him free of charge, keep the 5 million, just take him, get rid of him. You see what I'm saying? But if you go in for players that have got an emotional attachment to the club and the fans, the club are going to go, nah, do you know what? We're not selling them. But if it's a Granit Xhaka, they're like, you know what? Take him. He's yours. Have him. Have him. They're all too quick to give him away.
Exactly. But you're right. They're not going to get Mitchell anytime soon, mate. So I wouldn't worry about that. You know what I mean? We've got getting targets.
Well, you never know. I mean, if Eddie Howe can work his magic in the transfer window and he gets a couple of smart signings that no one's paying attention to, you could shock a lot of teams. Because bear in mind, we knew nothing about Michael Elise before he came to Palace. I couldn't tell you how good he was at Reading because I don't watch Championship football. So you see what I'm saying? If you sign a player that nobody's watching, you're thinking, hang on a minute, we've got a bit of a gem here. It's only when we saw him in a Palace shirt, we were like, wait a minute, this kid's not just good. He's really bloody good. There's a big difference. You can look good as a new signing in the Premier League, but then you realise, this guy will not be here much longer because if another club comes in for him, we could make a serious profit on the £8 million we paid. Somebody recently asked me, how much did you pay for Elise? If I told you, you'd call me a liar. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
You look at him and you think, he didn't cost Palace £8 million. That's a lie. But he did. It was £8 million in the summer, which is ridiculous. Glorious, but ridiculous.
I think that's a bargain for this guy, Elise. I think he's going to be fantastic. He's such an elite player. He's so left-footed. Plays on the right, cuts inside, and he's got a lovely shot on him, by the way. But he'll get better. I think he'll play for England one day. I really do, because I like this kid. I really do. And I think you got a gem there. And maybe give him a couple more years. I think he'll play for a top club because I think he's destined.
Well, Eze and Elise cost us a joint 24 million. So that kind of shows you if you're not looking in the so-called obvious areas and you can look in and around the areas nobody's paying attention to. You can snatch a bargain quickly and go, hang on a minute, we'll take him, lovely. And you go, do you know what? We've just doubled his price tag. Yeah. That's more money in the kitty to reinvest. That's the beauty of it. Even though you're Newcastle United and your money bag's Newcastle, you're not automatically winning the league every year. You know you're going to have to stay mid-table, upper top 10 for maybe 2-3 years. Then you'll be into the Europa League if you spend your money wisely. Maybe the Champions League if you go on to do well in the Europa League. So again, people are afraid of you now because they know that you're going to be a threat within the next 2 to 3, 4, 5 years. Me personally, I'm thinking if it wasn't us that got that money, I'm happy it's Newcastle because they're a very passionate fan base. They're not a fan base that demand success every single bleeding season.
No,
what they want, I remember there was a banner you had. I think it was at Swansea away, where it said "Not a Welsh town, but our league form under Pardew." But to be fair, that's the point: is that they don't demand that they be a world-class football team that's got world-class players coming out of everywhere. They don't want to be Real Madrid.
No,
but now you've got the facilities to go. Do you know what? We can get to Conference League within the next 3 years. It won't be ideal, but it's a start. Get to the Conference League, get to the Europa League, and build from there. If you win a Carabao Cup, okay, it's not the glamorous trophy in England, but it's still, as you said, it's still a trophy. It's something to say, do you know what, that's the trophy drought over, now let's build from that. Look at Chelsea. Their first trophy under Abramovich was the League Cup, and look what they've gone on to succeed. They've won every single trophy they can since that first League Cup win under Mourinho. I'm not saying Newcastle are going to have the same kind of success, but you've got to start from somewhere. You can't just go, right, we're money bags to Newcastle, let's just win everything in sight. With what? John Joe Shelby in midfield. Good luck with that.
No chance. You're right, mate. I totally agree. You just mentioned John Joe Shelby. For me, I mean, he's better than John Joe Shelby. I'd give it a 10 players as well for at the end of the season. I'll just get rid of them because they're just not good enough yet. I like John Joe Shelby. He's okay. He's not a wow factor, but I wouldn't shed a tear if he left in the summer. I really wouldn't. But I'll get rid of 10 players straight away. And also, you mentioned Paul Dummett as well. I mean, apparently Eddie Howe's going to offer him a new contract. Yeah, another year's extension. Now, I've got a gripe with that. I like Paul Dummett. I think he works hard, but he is injury prone. He hasn't played hardly this season. That is the thing. And when he does play, he's done all right. But he can't play 2 or 3 games and have a new contract. Do you know what I mean? It's a disgrace. But I think he needs to be aware and get players like Aaron Hickey in from Bologna and sign up Matt Target as well. Target's a number 1 left back and Aaron Hickey as a backup, yeah. Paul Dummett can may as well go pastures new because we cannot afford to keep injury-prone players at our club because it just takes a spot away from someone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, if you're looking for a club for Aaron, if you're looking for a club for Paul Dummett, you can give him to our friends in Southeast London called Charlton. They could deal with a crap player.
Yeah.
We're going to be here for ages, man.
I was just going to ask you one question as well, Natty, one quick question as well before you wrap up. Yeah, I know you got to go. But if you're a Newcastle fan, right, I mean, Eddie Howe, right? I'm an Eddie Howe fan. I like Ed. I know you're not a fan, but how many seasons should Eddie Howe get next season? It would be under pressure, number 1. And secondly, where should he finish with Newcastle United next season?
Right. So with backing, and he's given enough time to gel his new signings in with what you already have. If he gets anywhere between 9th to 13th next season, that's a solid base to start from. Right. If he can have a decent run in the cup as well to boot, that puts more credit in his bank account for him. The question is, does he buy smart? Or does he try to buy a bit too what's the word I'm looking for? Haphazardly. He can buy a good player, but does he buy players that don't quite match that level already? Is he trying to just buy a 1-star player to fill with a couple of bits of here and there? Or does he go, do you know what, we need a player for that position, and they all add different elements of quality that you didn't have this season and seasons before? I think if Eddie Howe can keep it up for 2 years, if he's there long enough, then he might get a solid run at it. But again, if you got to remember, Man City are ruthless when it comes to own managers that don't do it every year. Bear in mind, before Pep, they were sacking managers every time they weren't winning the league or winning a cup. Your owners are going to be in the exact same mind frame because they're thinking, hang on a minute, we're investing for success, not to just stay where we are. So Eddie Howe is under pressure from the minute that the transfer window opens to make sure Newcastle are a team that look heads and lengths above what they were this season when Eddie Howe first arrived. The question is, does he have the players in mind to identify, to go and get, to say, do you know what, we're not a European contending club yet. If you come here for the first 2 seasons and you help us get there, then you're going to get a bump in pay. That's the kind of thing Newcastle have to engineer. Can they do that? Remains to be seen. But if I was a Newcastle fan backing Eddie Howe, 2 years minimum is the backing you should give him. But again, it depends on him. If he can pull it off, you're going to be laughing and going, I told you so, to all the doubters. If he doesn't, you're like, well, that's egg on the face. But look, that's football for you. I backed Alan Pardew till the 5-4 defeat at Swansea a few years ago, right? Because I believed he could turn it around. After that game, I was like, you know what? Yeah, now I see what the Newcastle fans were on about. You could back a manager only for so long until you realise, you know what? It's just not working out. Same with any kind of thing in football. If it's not going well, you have to come to the realization that, you know what? Maybe it's time to change direction. If Eddie Howe can continue solidly, you never know. But his buying and how he implements the new style of football will be crucial to that, is what I would say.
Yeah, well said, well said, well said. Liverpool's 2 up, by the way. Mo Salah.
Well, John, before we wrap up, shout out your channel, mate.
Yep, sure. Thanks very much indeed for having us on. I've got 4 socials. You could have watch us on Twitter, John_NUFC42. You can have us on John Sinclair TV, just down there on Twitch, Facebook, and also on TikTok as well. And also you can find John Sinclair TV on me YouTube. And I do lots of contents, especially live ones as well. Live press conference reactions. I'll do match preview, match reactions, player ratings, and also John Macy's show on the Tuesday. And I just jump at other people's channels as well. So check us out for that.
Sweet. So, yeah, this is Eagle Eye Football. This is the match preview of Palace Newcastle. And as always, up the Palace. Come on,
you Palace.
Up the Palace. Let's go.
We're not too.